How are we doing there, boys and girls? Manthis here and welcome back to another video. So, time for a little bit of an update to how we're doing on Tauren Mill. We've got a hot topic of conversation for this main video today, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick sort of 10 minutes overview of just how we're doing on Tauren Mill. For the last few days on the stream, we've been ploughing through, leveling up some of our characters, getting our professions in order and making as many sales as we can. And we are still, for the most part at least, in kind of, putting the factory together kind of mode. We got to build the factory to begin with until we can turn on that money printing machine that you can do effectively once you've got things in place. But a bit of an update since last episode then. We're actually trying to level up a few more characters. We've kind of hit a significant bottleneck in our operation, which is that we just don't have enough profession slots. I'm seeing opportunities left, right and centre of things that could be materials that could be bought, items that could be crafted, yet the frustration is that, well, for starters, liquid gold is a bit of an issue, but we'll come to that in a minute. Secondly, the other concern is that, well, all week I've been seeing shrouded cloth, super cheap, that I've really wanted to buy. I've really wanted to be vendor shuffling it because I could instantly, or well, for as long as it takes to do the vendor shuffle at least, I could very easily be turning that small amount of gold into a bigger amount of gold, but not having enough profession slots is a bit of an issue. Because of course, we've only had one level 60. So what have I done about it? I've gone out there and I've started leveling some more. Our main character is level 60 and has leatherworking and enchanting, to give you guys an update for those that may have forgotten. Additionally, we've leveled up our hunter. For the most part, this hunter was just an arboreal shard toon. We got him to level 10, we sent him to Hero's Rest, and he just sat there using his goblin vendor reputation bonus to buy me all the cheap arboreal shards I needed. But I like it. I like hunters. I enjoy leveling hunters. I enjoy playing a hunter, so I thought, well, let's get this dude up as high as possible. So what we're going to start doing now this dude has hit level 50 is we're going to start changing the professions around a little bit. We are probably going to drop enchanting from our main character, and at least short term we'll put enchanting on the hunter. Whilst the hunter is leveling up to 60, he can be the enchanter, he can be crafting all of the enchanted, in our scenario at least, the enchanted heavy callous hide we need to craft the legendaries. It's almost impossible to be even remotely competitive with legendaries unless you have a pocket enchanter to get your enchanted mats at a competitive price. You may also see that we have our second druid on the go. Yes, one significant issue I came across this week on Tauren Mill was liquid gold was a problem, right? All of our gold, the second we sold an item, was being reinvested into something to basically restock our legendaries at this point, and it was causing a bit of a problem that we never had enough liquid gold to actually, take advantage of these opportunities that I'm seeing left, right and centre, buying items cheap to then resell them, this sort of stuff. If I need to spend 50,000 gold buying a bunch of materials, knowing full well later that day I could probably sell them for 75,000 gold. Unless I've got 50k gold to begin with, I can't do that. So I needed an injection of gold. Now, one option I obviously had was to transfer gold from my other realm, but I'm thinking at this point transferring more gold from another realm is going to just detract from the the progress that can be made naturally. So we leveled a second druid. He's now currently level 47. Since level 40 he's only been leveling up by doing some old world herbing and mining. He's doing druid things. He's going around and he's just gathering up a bunch of ore. We focused on saronite ore, which in turn gave us some titanium ore. We did a little bit of a lithium ore farming, which in turn gave us some pyrite. And we even went and we farmed up ourselves a bit of ghost iron ore, simply because the ghost iron ore is not particularly good for selling, but you can gain so much experience whilst also gathering both ghost iron and I think it's green tea leaf over in Mr. Pandaria, because there's just nodes everywhere, and every time I hit a node I was getting about 700 experience unrested, and we were banging out levels in about 40 minutes flat. Which was pretty impressive just for basically just running around gathering. But so let's jump into, now we've given you a bit of an overview to where we're at right now. Let me try and talk you through a little bit about what's been happening and how we plan on going forward with this. Leatherworking is now in a good position. We have chipped away at least the most popular leatherworking items. We've crafted them, we've sold them, we've taken the gold that we've made by selling them, and we've invested it further into crafting more. And it's a rinse and repeat cycle, and we're now getting to the point where we've unlocked at least the most popular rank 4s. Auction-wise, just quickly jumping over to the auction house account, you can see that we've got a lot of things being listed now. I'm still selling the same basic things. A lot of Umberhide gear, a few bits of Bone Shatter gear here and there, a few old world materials, and of course enchants. We're still churning out enchants because it's really quick and easy to do, and they sell remarkably quickly, simply because this realm is massive, right? Even in this downtime between patches, we can still churn out like silly amounts of consumables, just because there's, I mean, I think at last count there's like 20,000 players or something playing on this realm, so it's a really, really high pop server. But from leatherworking, we can see that we now have, if we run down the list, some of the more popular stuff maxed out. So arm guards we've got to rank 4, we've got the gauntlets to rank 4, the helm is very close. I almost feel like crafting a few more of these just to get it to rank 4. Legs maxed out. Pauldrons still only at rank 2, but these have not been a fantastic seller for me. I've basically been crafting these and it almost feels like I've been giving them away so far. I might get these to rank 3 and then call it a day on the Pauldrons. Treads, we've just unlocked rank 3 as well. Similar scenario to the Pauldrons for me at least. The Umberhide vest is in a similar position. We've been crafting a few. These have been profitable recently for me. I'm not sure exactly who's buying these, but people are buying them. And of course the waistguard's the waistguard. We won't talk about that one. But so Umberhide is pretty much at a point where I can now start switching my operations from a method of just trying to basically buy this experience. I'm willing to sell the legendaries less than what it costs me to make them, because I consider that as if I take 1,000 gold loss on a legendary, it means that I basically paid 1,000 gold to craft that item, and I'm, you know, spending a little bit of my gold to chip away at these experience. But of course, when we get to rank 4 and we need no more experience, I completely turn off that mentality, and I then only sell the items as and when they become profitable on the auction house. This is what's caused a lot of the problems for me though recently. We started talking earlier that liquid gold is the problem. I'm needing to drive more and more turnover, and I'm always running out of actual gold to spend on things. This is because our inventory of items is now relatively large. This is one thing I hadn't really accounted for when we started on Torin Mill, but you can see when you look at the inventory numbers, especially inventory numbers next to things that are red, we have just a lot of crafted items right now. And a lot of it is being tied up in stuff that I'm not selling because it's not profitable right now. The higher end stuff tends to, you know, be at a good spot all the same. But any crafted rank 1s and 2s that I've, you know, finished leveling, I'm finding it very difficult to recuperate any costs from those. And not to mention that every additional rank up the tree is more and more expensive. I mean, even a rank 4 arm guards, I think, has a crafting cost of somewhere like what is it, like 18,000 gold, something like that, just for a pair of arm guards, and that's the cheap one. For me to try and keep 2 or 3 of those in stock, it's a lot of my liquid gold tied up in just a very few items. In hindsight, trying to start with leatherworking would probably not have been the best situation, but this is where the other characters come into play, right? When we get that second character to level 60, we'll have a whole bunch of other options available to us. With a second character at 60, we will be able to unlock Tailoring, is the next one I want to get on board with. Now, for the most part, Tailoring is, once again, a lot of it is under cost, but it's got the benefit that it's really cheap to level up. Super, super cheap to level up on my realm, because the Lightless Silk, it's basically free. Not as free as it is on some other realms. I've seen some people reporting Lightless Silk at like 2-3 gold a piece, which is absolutely criminal. For reference, buy it all up because that's crazy. But lightless silk for the most part, plus a bit of soul dust here and there. Actually, that soul dust is pretty cheap. Yoink. Lightless silk is for the most part less than 10 gold a piece, meaning the actual I mean, I could throw 1 million gold in total and you'd get leatherwork tailoring maxed out, so that's probably going to be next on our list. We'll probably start chipping away at one of the cheaper legendaries, because we can probably then take some of the profits we're now starting to see from leatherworking from these higher rank sales, and we can start funneling that into the other legendary professions. So we are kind of getting places. But one thing I wanted to talk about for a couple of minutes is something that has become way more apparent to me now that we're playing on a super mega realm. Tauren Mill is ridiculously high population, and what it simply boils down to meaning is that if you are not actively playing the auction house, you don't sell anything. You are like, the second you turn your back from the auction house, you're undercut by 5 other people and your stuff just never sells through. Meaning I've tried to switch my sort of approach to selling on a super high population server. I've started to look for what are the peak times in the week. So we're going to say like reset day. Pretty much pick any hour of the day on reset day, and you're gonna, if you focus on it, you'll get some really good sales. Friday evening, Saturday evening, you know, the kind of the hotspot hours where there's a lot of activity going on the realms are the best hours where you can sort of sit down and just tunnel vision, get your auction house PvP sword out and just start hacking away at the competition, get those cancel scans on the go, and just dedicate. You only have to dedicate like an hour of the day. Take 1 hour, just like you might have done in the past. Take 1 hour, instead of farming herbs, start farming the auction house. Get your cancel scans in, get relisting stuff, be as competitive as you can with the auction house game, and with enough stock, you can actually sell through a significant amount of that within just a short period of time. So that's kind of my focus nowadays. I've switched away from for the general mentality of, you know, just having my auction house character always on, every 20 minutes doing a cancel scan. I've switched away from that approach to, you know, focusing on my other characters, leveling them up, getting their profession sorted, and then just dedicating an hour at a certain point in the day to auction housing and just going ham. The harder you can hit the auction house for that 1 hour. I mean, I think my record for 1 hour at this point was 227,000 gold in sales in an hour, which I know to some of you out there is not going to sound super impressive, but considering I had maybe only 1 million gold worth of stuff on the auction house, I sold through almost 25% of my stock in just a single hour of just dedicated, let's get stuff sold. So that's what I'm going to be doing more so going forward. As far as Tauren Mill is concerned, this is basically what I'm focusing on for the most part during the stream. So if you haven't checked out the stream recently, make sure, I'll leave the link in the description, twitch.tv/Manthias. We're constantly, you know, talking goal making in general, so if you're into goal making in any way, shape or form, come hang out over there. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through till Friday, and it's usually a good laugh. But I'll leave it there for today, boys and girls. I don't really want to put a schedule to these updates for Tauren Mill. I'd rather just give you guys an update when there's something significant that's changed. So just make sure you stick around. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, because the channels, we are this close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube now, which is nothing more than a milestone for me. But it would be really, really nice to hit that 5-figure mark on YouTube. So if you haven't already, hit that sub bell. I'd really appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Enjoy. Peace.